When talking in front of a crowd, obviously it's best to think about who am I talking to? Who makes up this crowd? Who's the audience? And this crowd is full of winners. It just is. These guys, these girls have achieved many high athletic awards, lots of recognition, the best of the best. Should be proud. Lots of hard work, lots of sacrifice, lots of winning. But I thought we'd talk about something else. Let's talk about your last loss. Let's talk about when you were sitting in that locker room and your plan didn't quite work right. You just had a loss. That wasn't in the plan. You're mad, you're frustrated, you're angry, you're looking to blame somebody. You're ready to go punch a wall. You're ready to go home and kick the dog. You're thinking about quitting. That was a defeat. That was a disappointment. That was life. My guess is these people in this room didn't quit. They're winners. They fought through it. But life throws us challenges. Back in 1986, I'm a college graduate, married my college sweetheart, had a 1-year-old son. We lived in Oklahoma City. I was in the oil and gas business, had a nice, comfortable house. All good things, all part of my plan. Price of oil goes to $9, which is not good. We have a company meeting, half my department gets laid off, and I was in the wrong half. Okay, regroup, lose my job, big deal. I'm driving to Tulsa for an interview a couple weeks later. I noticed street signs just a little fuzzy, just kind of blurry. I thought, well, maybe my contacts need to get cleaned, or maybe I need a stronger prescription, whatever. I get back the next day, go to the optometrist. No, everything looks okay. And next day, a little dimmer, a little more fuzzy. Within 10 days, I've lost my sight. I'm at the Dean McGee Eye Institute. They're doing all the tests, looking for what's going on here. MRI, spinal tap, EEG, everything. Everything's normal. Basically, I'd lost my sight within 10 days from a infection in the optic nerves. They called it optic neuritis. Okay. Wasn't part of my plan, but there it is. Within the few weeks of kind of waiting and trying to figure out the diagnosis and trying to get back some positive test results, my sister sent me a set of the New Testament Bible tapes. So I listened to these tapes every day for about an hour or so, getting good messages. Also, my wife came home from a teacher's conference one day and said she'd heard a great motivational speaker. This guy was really good, positive thinking, brought me a couple tapes. So now I'm listening to a motivational tape about an hour a day, listen to the Bible about an hour a day. And I realized, without recognizing it at that point, but I was fueling my tank with positive things, positive thinking. What had happened was not supposed to happen, like many things in life. But we all have choices. So I could choose to use this as an excuse. It was a pretty good excuse. Or I could choose to acknowledge it, identify it, and get it down the road. Like I said, I had a wife and a child at the time. I wanted my child to be proud of me no matter what I did. I knew that there were other blind out there that had successful careers in whatever field, didn't know. But if they could do it, I could do it. Why couldn't I? They could do it. So I had a pretty full tank, positive thinking, got some independent learning skills at a rehab center, kind of getting tooled up to do this blindness, this new normal for me. I thought, well, something else, a guide dog. Guide dog's a good idea. I like that idea. Went to guide dog school out in California. You learn everything there is to learn about guide dogs. Health, obedience, the training, what they can do, what they can't do. Guide dog's not for everybody. This was my new normal. But I thought it'd be a good tool to use. You got to have the right mentality to use a guide dog. You got to be confident. It's a team. You can't walk up to a busy, heavy traffic intersection with your guide dog and stand there and say, man, it'd be awesome if I survived this street crossing. That's not the mentality you need. You got to be positive. You got to be confident. You got to get it down the road. These are challenges. We all have them. As I was going through the first few years of tooling up and trying to figure this thing out, I was fortunate enough where a guy wanted to meet me. He'd heard about me, a family friend, and he goes, Ted, I like your background in the oil and gas business. I like your attitude. You need a break. This is your break. I want to offer you a job. He offered me a job. We moved back to Tulsa, natural gas marketing. And yes, I had to do things different. I had to learn new computer skills, talking computers, all those things. But all along the way, with all the support and all the people, two words kept kind of coming back and forth. Defeat versus defeated. To me, they mean totally different things. We've all had a defeat. Most national championship teams have a defeat. They're not defeated. No way they'd leave that locker room defeated and go win another game. We know that. That's just calling it what it is. So this new life of mine was a challenge. It was always going to be a challenge. I recognize that. I chose to accept it. Why deny it? It wasn't going to go away. I wasn't going to be the grumpy guy, the crabby guy, the negative guy. We don't need to be those guys. Who wants to be around those guys? I've been fortunate enough to move my career down the road. I've had people say, well, Ted, I don't see how you could do it. There's no way I could do it. But you know what? I'm nothing special. I probably would have said the same thing the day before it happened to me. I chose to be positive, to acknowledge this challenge, and to move things down the road. This was a mountain, and it was a big mountain. Mountains aren't supposed to be easy. But again, we can all do it. We can all regroup in that locker room. Can we move a mountain? I would say if you need to, and if you choose to. Thank you.